Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm just here really to kind of do a pretty quick process video. Basically, I want to kind of get a few videos in the bag, if you like, so that over the summer, because obviously the kids are going to be home for 6 weeks, and also we've got a trip planned, so we're not going to be around, or I'm not going to be around for a period in that time. So I want to kind of get a few videos done that I can just upload whilst we're away, or if I'm too busy to kind of keep doing videos. So while I do any of these, you have to just forgive me because the order of them may be, somewhat confused. If I mention things, I maybe have or haven't uploaded the videos in advance. So anyway, that's that. So this one, just having a bit of a play really, because obviously, as I mentioned, we're going on a trip. Very excited. We're going on a kind of road trip. We're calling it our European tour. I mean, obviously we're not going all around Europe, but my husband has kind of taken his annual leave in a block, and yeah, we're kind of doing Switzerland, Austria, Venice, Lake Garda and France. And as for those places, we have only been to France before, so all the other places will be completely new. So very exciting. We're obviously driving through all those kind of different locations. So I dread to think what the situation is going to be like in our car. Probably lots of whinging, moaning children and parents probably. So, but I'm sure it's going to be really good fun. And we're doing it this year because we've talked about it for years, and we kind of finally said, actually, if we don't do it soon, our eldest son, who's 15, I'm not saying he won't ever come on holiday with us again. I'm sure he will, but, he might not come for a couple of years. So this kind of might be our last chance to kind of do it. So I hope not, but, we'll see. So anyway, we're doing that. So I want to just have a few videos in the bag. And this one, I have been working on this little journal to take on our holiday. So it's basically an altered book journal. I really love doing altered books. I think they come together really nicely. They're fun to work with, and yeah, I really like them. So this particular one, it wasn't a vintage book or anything. It was just, well, I mean, it is older, but it's, I think, about 1990 something, or, not hugely vintage anyway. And just really picked it up kind of, just to kind of have in my stash really to be able to grab them, but just thought it would be the perfect size, because obviously we are going in the car, so we are going to have to keep things to a minimum. So this is nice and compact. I have not made it too bulky because I want it to kind of just be able to slot around when we're traveling. So basically, I have just, on the front cover, I have used the fabric that was gifted to me by Laura. In my Happy Mail video, I showed this fabric, and really lovely fabric, and it's just covered the cover really nicely. So, I wanted to kind of leave it plain, not have a title or anything, but just have the fabric just, laid over there. So really like how that turned out. I've left it tatty around the edges, and, you can kind of see it overhanging kind of on the book. And then on the inside cover, I've got this, which I've made a large pocket. And at the moment, I've just stuck in a little kind of tag that I've made. Now, for this whole journal, I wanted to keep it nice and bright and colourful. It's, it's not vintage. I've got no coffee stained things going on. Because obviously, the intention is that anybody in the family can just grab the journal and write entries, kind of, just memorising our holiday and our trip, really. So I wanted to keep it fun and bright and, summery and inviting for everybody to kind of do their little doodles and, their jottings of the trip, really. So I thought colourful was the way to go, and obviously I love colours, so that was fine for me. What I did do was I did use a couple of vintage books. I had a golden book, actually, which I had never really seen here in the UK before, but obviously I've seen lots of people use them in the US. It was a golden book of geography. So I just took a couple of pages out and tore out the little images from, or some little images from that book, which I just thought they were really nice and bright and they just worked really well. So basically I've obviously altered the book in the usual way, tearing the pages out, gluing them together, and then I've just painted over them lightly just so that I've covered up any text. And then, I mean, it's a bit more kind of like a glue book, I suppose. I've glued here obviously another image from the book. Here I've made a little flip and obviously another image from the book, and then here I've just popped a pocket in the kind of matching paper and some ribbon trim down the bottom. And then obviously just on the side there's a pocket. And then I've also included from my book of poetry, the kids' book of poetry. I've just got it here. It was another golden book of poetry. This one was gifted to me again by Laura. So I just used one or two things from here as well, because obviously the colours just went perfectly. And like here I've just torn out literally 2 lines from a verse, which I thought was quite cute. So that's just kind of on a tag. And then here I've just got another belly band here, another image from the book, and you know, here I've just created a little kind of tuck spot at the bottom of the page, just with this cute image again from the book. Don't think I've filled that pocket yet. And then here I've just got an altered paper clip and a little flip up here, another image from the book. And the clip, you know, you don't really need it, but I just thought it was handy to have. And then here I've just cut out loving it. Hopefully we'll be loving it. And then I've made just a large tag here, which, you know, this was literally just double-sided scrap paper, and I've just, you know, lightly painted it for journaling. Another image from the book, and then here just a couple of words, you know, so that's that. And then here another image, little ticket that I've just stapled on, and I quite liked the contrast of the black and white ribbon. That was a kind of later edition, so I'd kind of done what I've done here, and then I just kind of thought, actually I think the black and white ribbon would look kind of cute. So another tuck spot here, little belly band again, this just glued on, and then nothing in that pocket yet. Little journaling spots here, and paperclip. This gorgeous image, which is of Venice. So I've kind of stuck it roughly where I think we might be in the journal by the time we reach Venice. You know, obviously if that doesn't go to plan, that's fine. We can just kind of use this page for Venice and then continue on. But what a lovely image that is. So I'm really looking forward to it. I've always wanted to go to Venice, just because obviously there's nowhere else really like that. And yeah, really looking forward to it. Obviously prepared myself that it's going to be hot and heaving. It's just a little corner pocket. Hot and heaving obviously in August, but I mean actually we're only actually going to be in the Venice part of the trip for a couple of nights. So I mean literally kind of probably only actually one day of full-on sightseeing. I've just realised what I've actually done here is I've kind of painted over it whilst it was glued down, which has obviously then kind of stuck the pockets down. So, but anyway, that's fine, it comes up now. And then here another pocket. Little flip here, and that's a pocket under there. I've just kind of tried to use words that I think are kind of relevant to, you know, holidays and fun. Love this pocket here, how it turned out. And again, I've just kind of painted and actually glued it down onto the page, and a little kind of tag there. And then just here this banner with miles and miles there, and obviously a map of Italy. Don't think there's anything in that pocket. This here of Paris, and then just left these pages kind of blank for journaling, and then a large pocket here at the back with again another image. So what I thought we'd do, I mean, I think the book's, you know, full enough. You know, I don't think it needs an awful lot more, but I just thought actually just come along and kind of do 1 or 2 bits. And what I've done, I've used Salty Ocean distress ink for this, so no vintage photos anywhere to be seen or anything. So again, it was kind of nice to work with something, you know, bright and cheery. So I've just literally pulled out scraps, excuse me, excuse me, I had a sneeze come in. I've just literally pulled out scraps because, you know, I'm sure kind of like all of you, we just all have huge bundles of scraps and things in our stash, and I just thought it would be kind of nice to use them, or well, not use them all up because obviously I have a lot, but use a few where I could. So this, I just thought it was a bit stark being the kind of pale green on its own, and I've used 1 or 2 of these elsewhere in the book, up here for instance, and they just look quite nice as a little banner kind of finishing things off. So, you know, I just thought we'd kind of work together, just literally, might have it here, doing 1 or 2 things, you know, just for a bit of fun, having a play really. So, that's that. I'll just get my glue, which I've got a horrible feeling is clogged up again, so let me just grab my stick pin out of my little tin. Okay. Just get the excess off the end. Right. Yes, it's quite nice to, you know, do fun things. I mean, I do love the vintage journals and things, and, you know, I really do love them. But actually, when it's kind of, I don't know, for a family holiday or something like that, I feel like kind of, you know, it just works best for me actually having the bright, colourful things. So, yeah, it was kind of nice to have an excuse to work with some bright colours and things. So that's just up there. And then I've obviously just got this piece, so we'll just find somewhere to put this. Somewhere at the bottom actually, but I don't know whether it works quite so well at the bottom, although I could put it maybe on the bottom of here. That's quite nice. So what I'll do, I'll cut it there. Actually, I got it here, and then like that. That's quite nice, I think, at the bottom of there. And just glue it on. And then what I also have done, now I don't know whether these are necessarily even going to go, you know, or tone. I mean, obviously they're not going to go because I haven't included this colour yet, but I have just stamped. I like using, you know, frames and kind of journaling spots, stamped images in. I'm just going to put a book on that, just kind of write it down. In kind of journals, because I think they're, you know, really nice to kind of journal on, obviously. So I've just literally stamped on here. As you can see, I dropped one of the stamps, so that wasn't too clever really, but obviously that's fine. I can just cut around this and you'll never know. And I also stamped this calendar, which I thought was quite nice to use. So I was going to cut the calendar, but actually I'm tempted to tear the calendar because I think that might be more fun. To just include somewhere. So, and this particular calendar stamp, it was a super cheap one. It was from a shop called The Range that we have here. Which is one of my favourite shops. We're very limited on kind of craft shops, certainly in my area anyway. So The Range, they have pretty good selection and they're, you know, pretty well priced. So they had these calendar stamps, which I think are kind of their own brand, but you know, they're really nice, and I like the way they've got the lines and things, because obviously I can make notes down there. And then I'll cut out 1 or 2 of these as well. And then I did just stamped some of these tickets, because although they are kind of normally used with the vintage, you know, my vintage kind of looking journals, I thought actually on the green, they're kind of cool, aren't they? So I'll just see if they work. They might not really look too clever. They might, you know, be a bit cluttery, but we'll just try a couple of them. And then I love these ones that say memories. And these are just some stamps that I've had for absolutely yonks. It's this packet here, which I can't even see. Oh, the Paper Company Studio. I don't know if I've actually even heard of them, really. I couldn't even tell you where I got these. I've had them for so long. Yeah, I've had them for a really long time. But I have used them and used them and used them. And obviously, you know, we've got this kind of shaped one here, which I love. And this one, those are the two that I tend to use most. But they're just really handy. And obviously, you know, stamping it onto this kind of green card, it looks nice and fun. You know, great for kind of, I think, you know, the kind of thing that I'm hoping to kind of use it for, obviously in this kind of family holiday journal. But equally, if you stamp it onto kind of some coffee dyed card or paper, it looks really fab for a kind of vintage style journal too. So I think they're really nice stamps, you know, and yeah, I wish I could remember where I got them from, but you know, you could probably find them online, although they're probably still not made, or not still made, because obviously they are quite old. But having said that, you may be able to get them for a bargain, obviously with somebody having a clear out or something. Right, I should put these just to one side for a moment, because I've obviously cut out a few now. Leave that out of the way. And then I'll just kind of see where I might like to have them. So ideally for me, I would have kind of liked the calendar really on the front page somewhere. Obviously, I am intending to write somewhere, you know, our European tour or something. My handwriting's not the best, which I'm always a bit gutted, because sometimes you see people's journals and they can kind of do these beautiful headers in their own handwriting and it looks superb. Mine, unfortunately, is not that great. So, you know, I don't think it would actually add anything to have a lovely heading in my writing. But I will write it somewhere, but who knows, I might actually even write it, you know, maybe somewhere like that, that I can then obviously glue it in, so that if I really muck it up and it looks terrible, I don't actually have to have it. So I'll just cut this one round. Come on. I should have really cut these before, you know, filming, but actually I thought it was kind of nice to show that I just literally stamped a random bunch of images onto the card. So but maybe next time I should just cut them out first. So I mean, I could have that kind of somewhere, kind of over here. Now still that leaves me, where do I put the calendar? Unless I kind of put the calendar on the flip there. I had kind of thought maybe a photo or something would be good there, but, or I could put the calendar kind of more at the end. It doesn't really matter, does it? So I could just put it here, actually. That looks kind of cool. I'm just going to have a sip of my tea. So I haven't had a cup of tea yet today, so I'm kind of thirsty. Now, again, I haven't tried this ink on this colour green, so what I might do, just grab that piece back, just to kind of check how it looks. Oh, it looks nice, doesn't it? I hope that the camera is picking that up. I'm not sure whether it is. Maybe if I go in more the shady part, I don't know. But it looks really nice. So I'll just kind of ink lightly around the edges. yes, it's quite strange because I've actually had this blue ink for a really long time. Again, you know, a few years. And I've not obviously used it very often because, you know, most of the things that I tend to kind of do are the kind of vintagey things, which obviously don't really... Actually, I'm just going to ink up these just while I'm here to save a bit of time. Which they, you know, wouldn't probably look great with a bright blue ink. Although, you know, I did see, I think it was Girl on the Ridge, and she had... There was just one double page spread that was kind of all blues. Oh, it was so stunning. I couldn't tell you which journal it was. It was quite some time ago. Well, about probably 3 months ago or something. But it looked so striking. So actually, maybe I should try inking something in a vintage one in blue, because it would maybe just be, you know, super striking. So I'm just using this red. I don't know whether I said, but just to, you know, as kind of scrap, just to use to ink up. And I will just grab that piece there and just ink that while we're here as well. Yeah, so I mean, I'm hoping that everybody is going to kind of, you know, journal and doodle a little bit in this journal. So it will be a whole family effort. I'm pretty confident my husband won't, but hopefully the children will. So, you know, that would be kind of really nice to have their kind of input. Now, what I'm going to do is just kind of glue that on, just literally on the 2 edges, so that also forms a tuck spot there. I think that looks really nice. I brought some tissue along, again, to kind of dab the glue should I need to. That's that. And then what I have been using in here is kind of these lovely flowers and things, and obviously words that I've just cut out of books. But also when I was going through my stash, because I'm trying to kind of be using things up a little bit, I came across these. Now again, had these for yonks. As you can see, they're all literally peeling off. They're, you know, not in great shape anymore. But I don't think I've actually really used, you know, most of the ones that I'm missing. I don't think I've necessarily even used. I think they've just literally come up and kind of got lost now. But I thought, wow, this has got lots of fun, family, you know, really nice kind of words and things. So I just thought, actually, maybe this would be kind of nice. Not necessarily all of these, because for me, they don't look very, you know, coordinating with the rest of the journal, but some of the things. So in particular, these word strips, I just thought actually could kind of cut some of the words off and kind of pop them on. So what I'm going to do, I'll just cut like the word love. I'll cut off a few of the words while we're here. I've got this, smile, that's nice, isn't it? That. Okay, this one's got wonderful life and it's got good times, so I'll cut that. What else have we got on here? That's quite nice, isn't it? So we'll put relish the moment. Right. Let's see if there's anything else that's really kind of jumping out at me. I'm just going to have another sip of tea. Right, let's pop that to one side. So probably going to say probably ink these up. Let's just try this one. That's quite sweet, isn't it? And it's got the blue around the edge. And these are quite nice because I don't know if the camera is picking these up, but the print, you know, the font is actually blue, which is kind of nice. So I might put that on there. Grab my tissue back. Okay. So I probably won't have another one on this page because I don't want to kind of then just have all the same things on the same page. I'll just put these down here for a minute. And then what I'll do, just to finish this off, I'm going to just pop. So I've got here the reel of the black and white ribbon. And I will just literally cut that like that. And then I think what would be kind of cute is to actually have it kind of stapled on. I'm just going to take that out just in case I have a mishap and staple that in. Staple that on, but going out ways like that off the page. Whether or not I can get my stapler kind of... Oops, nope. And again, that's why you just should not do things on camera, isn't it? I hope that I'm actually in frame. Again, I'm at my son's desk and I can't necessarily see. I am kind of kneeling up, but I'm getting lower and lower as the time goes by because my foot's kind of gradually slipping, you know, moving out as kind of I'm beginning to get pins and needles. So not kneeling as high as I began. And then also, when I was kind of going through my goodies, thinking what else could I use, you know, for my holiday trip journal, I came across, I had some kind of stamped images that I like to use for kind of card making. And I have a few that are kind of camping themed. So I've got this one saying road trip, which I thought was perfect. So, and as I say, they were obviously ready stamped, but just kind of in my folder of card making things. I'll just cut that out. And then again, I just ink that lightly. That's quite nice like that. Oh, I quite like that, yeah. It's quite nice, the two different greens together. I didn't really think that they would work, but actually they do. Because obviously the blue ink just, you know, ties them in brilliantly. Again, I hope I'm actually in frame doing this, but okay. So that's that. And then I also brought down, this is not the original packaging, but I have all sorts of odds and sods in here. They're mainly kind of chipboard shapes, but I noticed a couple of flowers, so I brought it down with me because I thought that pink flower would be brilliant in here. Let me just see. That's kind of nice actually, isn't it? Let's have a look. I did wonder about having this somewhere, but actually I should have probably stapled it on with the ribbon. So maybe I'll leave this for another page. So that's that. And then we could have, oh, maybe this one here. I'm just going to put the scissors on that page. Again, I'll just ink this up lightly around the edges. I mean, I say around the edges, it's obviously going over the whole thing because it's so tiny, but that's really nice. I like having random words in journals. I think it makes it quite interesting when you look through them, you know, to have random words. I really love cutting words out from, you know, from books like these. I think just, again, add interest and kind of fun to a journal. Got there summer, we could have relish the moment up there. So in fact it looks kind of nice. Maybe just leave that one white. Dab that with the tissue because that glue's kind of coming out quite a bit now. And actually I've got these, haven't I, which I was almost forgetting about. So I mean, we could have kind of a little tag hanging somewhere, or we could have maybe one of those words on the tag, maybe even the flower. Well, the flower's quite giant for the tag actually. What do you think? And I'm still debating whether or not to paint these pages pink with the rest or leave them ivory, but yeah, I can't decide. I love this colour green, it's really pretty, isn't it? Oh, I like it there. So again, I'm going to leave this not inked. Just going to glue that word smile onto there. Just dab the glue. Fun, isn't it? Maybe I will just staple that onto the page. See, that will have the rear staple showing, but I don't mind that. I'm just going to staple that on. Oh, that looks fun, doesn't it? Okay. And this one with memories, we could have that somewhere. We could have it on there, maybe with the pink flower. The word love. Could have in there. Let's try inking that one up. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? Just going to ink this a bit more because the ink has kind of soaked in a bit now. Okay. Yeah, I quite like that. So pop that. I'm just going to glue it here like this because I don't obviously want it gluing the belly band kind of down. So hopefully that's not going to now do that. I'll just pop it like this. Okay. And then I'm just going to glue that flower just there. And then a bit of glue on the word. Just dab the glue. Kind of fun, wasn't it? And then this we could have kind of tick it somewhere, maybe actually, maybe here. Nice. Just trying to remember how I had done that, whether I had glued that right down or not. Okay. So what I might do is, again, I might just staple this in. I feel like this is quite a, you know, it suits the stapled look in this journal. So that looks fun. And then we could have that one down there. And actually I've got this other road trip here. So I'll just cut that round. Okay. Ah, yeah, I like that. Now what I should do probably before I actually glue that in is try writing our European tour. Unfortunately, I'm now sat at my son's desk. Now he has got a variety of pens here, but they all seem to be quite fat Sharpies. So, no, I'm not going to be able to. So what I'll do, I'll just glue it in and then run it there or up there. Probably down there. Oh, I don't know actually. Maybe at the top actually. Right, so let's glue that in. Let's dab that with the glue. And here. Okay, right, I like that. So we've got those, and then the only thing I thought was actually where I've just popped that ticket, I wouldn't mind another one of those blue words. So let's just see what other word we've got here that would be fun. Be happy, that's nice, isn't it? Hope, smile, laugh, no. Right, just put a bit of blue around here. Just thought that would be kind of nice with that just on there. It, for me, just seemed like it needed something else. Okay. Right, that just looks better to me. So that's that. Right, now obviously I've got these chipboard flowers which I just kind of found in that little tub of stuff and wondered about putting one on the cover. That might be quite nice. What do you think? I wonder if that would ink up at all. It does. Now, with or without? Kind of like it with actually. Now, it's a long time since I've used these, so I wasn't sure whether that was actually, you know, a peel off or not. So now how to stick this. So I was going to use my hot glue gun, but actually I think I'm going to use the actual wet glue and just, you know, weigh it down kind of once it's on there, because I think that will kind of be better from a point of view of when it's being kind of thrown into, you know, the bags and things. Well, you know, maybe it will just be slotted down by my seat in the car and kind of pulled out, who knows, but yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to come along just to kind of share with you my little holiday journal and just do one or two more little tweaks that I just kind of felt it needed one or two more things. But actually, I think it's kind of, you know, kind of done enough anyway, you know, for everyone to kind of feel that they can have plenty of space to write things and pop things in. So I hope that you thought it was kind of fun, and yeah, hopefully we'll be able to actually all fill it in and come back with it full up with all of our memories. So thanks very much for watching, and if you liked it, give it a thumbs up please, that would be fantastic. And have a great day everyone. Thanks very much then, bye.